And what's up, everybody? This is None Defense, host of this YouTube channel, and of course, co-leader of the team, still unboomable. There we are, the team, there we are, yay. And of course, we have our leaders, co-leaders, friends, family, and all of that stuff. New members, very much welcome to several new members that have come on recently. Hey guys, I'm sorry I haven't been posting a video, I just haven't wanted to. I mean, that's it, that's the big secret. I just didn't want to post videos in these past few days. You know, no reason why. It wasn't connected to the election, but it wasn't not connected to the election either. I was just tired, you know, just tired of talking, tired of thinking, and you know, and it was a drag. But the election's over, and I want to talk about it more than I want to talk about Boom Beach. But I'm going to show us the operation, because we did do another choke point, and we did it in 39 attacks. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the election, but not in like a mean way. Just going to tell you what my perspective to a lot of our friends on this team. You know, you're from other countries, and, you know, while it's easy to get perspective on YouTube, you know, about what's going on over here, about how we feel about the election and such, you know, I don't think, you know, you're going to get as good of an insight as just asking me, because I promise you, even though I was totally anti-Trump, I'm about as objective a person as you're going to find on the American political process, because I don't believe the Democrats are right, I don't believe the Republicans are right, I don't believe in anything. I was voting for Hillary, not because she's a super outstanding candidate, but because of the two, you know, give me one with some experience, you know, over someone who's just fucking crazy. And you know, but it's over now. And the thing that concerns me, not just for my country, but also for you know, our teammates and our people outside of the country, because, you know, we live in a global world, and people who don't realize that, well, unfortunately, they're the people who voted for Trump. I mean, I don't know what else to say. The people who, excuse me, I got the burps, or excuse me, the hiccups, but the people who voted for Trump, I mean, I hate to say this, and I'm not calling them, you know, anything mean or nasty or anything, but the demographic of who actually came out and supported this guy shows. And what happened is people in the bigger city centers, you know, the bigger cities and with the higher populace counts and such, they voted for Hillary, you know, because they live in a society that recognizes that they have people that don't look like them, i.e. people of other races, other religions, other belief structures, other you know, cultures and such. All right, good job, Aziz. Welcome back. He was on a trip for a while. Welcome back, Aziz. Glad you're back. That Setup Tuesday, which is Finn's third account. We'll let that go. But anyway, as we're going through, you know, I don't want anybody, if anything, I want to figure out a way for everybody who I know and care about, who feels negatively or even positively, if you feel affected by this election, then I want to be your guide. I want to be the guy who says, hey, you know what, it's really not that big of a deal, and I'm going to tell you why, and I will definitely tell you why. But let's watch Tuesday's outstanding event. Now, I mean, weird stuff's going to happen. You know, I mean, you can't deny that. You know, we're going to have issues with other countries, and he's an idiot, and all of this. What I find most interesting is that all these people that voted for Trump this round, many of them, the numbers are showing, came from very rural country, out in the woods kind of areas, and you get that in America, and I imagine you get that in your countries as well. You know, I don't know, but in America, it's not uncommon to see a big city, you know, of like 100,000 to 100 million people. Okay, not 100 million, but you get the idea. I mean, you got your New York cities, the biggest city in the world. You got Los Angeles County, one of the biggest counties in the world, you know, in California. And yet, we still have more counties with more rural country people, and that's what took this thing. It was these, God, I don't want to be mean, but it was the uneducated white voters of America who put this idiot in. Excuse me. I mean, that's what the demographic shows. The uneducated white voters of America put this guy in. Well, I'm a white voter. I dropped out of high school. I never went to college. You know, I grew up in the South. And I was just like, well, this guy's an idiot. Like, he's a moron. Like, this is the kind of, and my love's in love with me. But, you know, that's the kind of thing that it was an easy, one of the reasons I had to get out of the South is because I realized a long time ago that I wasn't thinking, as much as I love the South, I wasn't thinking on the same level as my, as my compadres, my fellow Southerners. And not saying that I was super smarter, but I do think the evidence shows that I spent a little more time thinking about things as opposed to just reacting to things. So, and that's what I want, guys. I don't want anybody to react to this. I don't want anybody, my wife included, Angie, she is really concerned, legitimately concerned. And I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want anybody to be scared of this one man, because he is that. He is just one man. And this system is designed, has so many systems and stopgaps put in place that no one man can destroy the system. He would have to have a lot of help. A lot of help. But here's the thing about those, these dumb country people who came out and voted for Trump. What they're asking for, what they're expecting to happen, can't happen. It can't happen. You can't get the world that they're magically wanting to invent. That world doesn't exist. A world where you're no longer a global society, a world where we no longer have to care and be concerned about things going on, a world where we no longer have to help and look out and take care of the disenfranchised members of our population, or we don't have to care or can be concerned about the people who, the immigrants who come from other countries to be here for a taste of freedom. The Republicans in these demographics, they live in a world where, these things don't exist. And that's crazy because they matter. They matter so much. Like, we have to take care of our people. We have to take care of each other. We have to, care about things and care about people and care about stuff. You can't just build a fucking wall around the world. You can't do it. It doesn't work. So what's going to happen, I'm afraid, with all these people that voted for him, and they're finicky, and don't think just because they're dumb country motherfuckers, don't think that they don't pay attention, because they do pay attention. Sadly, I would argue that they tend to misunderstand the information. You got me? However, they do pay attention. And what's going to happen, this was Hillbilly's attack, so what's going to happen is it won't be long before they realize that everything Trump said was just bullshit. Just bullshit. Angie's talking about apparently some other states legalize recreational marijuana. That's good to know. Other places we can go visit. So what I really honestly believe that these people are going to, they're going to feel good. They're going to be like, oh yeah, Trump's our president, and the Republicans control the Congress, and the Republicans control the Senate, and all this stuff, and nothing's going to stand in our way. We got rid of all those pesky Democrats, that's how they're feeling. But that's not what's going to happen. What's going to happen, excuse me, what's going to happen is not much. They don't have so much control of the House and Senate that they can just do whatever the hell they want without opposition. And of course, the American people, we're going to pay attention. And when he's doing something or when they're doing something that we don't like, no, trust me, the heat's coming. You know, and we're going to put it on them. We're going to put it on them fast. You know, and they're not even going to see it. They'll be doing things like, oh, well, I'm sure the American people won't care too much about this. Oh, you'll see. You'll see. So the Republicans have the supermajority. Okay, that means they control the House. That means they control the Senate. And that means they control the presidency. So that what that means, in theory, is when one party controls all three branches, in theory, it sounds like you can just do whatever the fuck you want. You know, if you're a Republican, and you can just pass whatever kind of law you want, pass whatever kind of, you know, whatever. But that's not what happens. Case in point, Barack Obama. Okay, whether you like him or don't like him, when he got elected, the Republicans were in control of everything. Well, when he got elected, excuse me, when he got elected, there was a new supermajority. The Democrats got rid of a lot of the Republicans, like a lot of the Republicans. Okay, so now all of a sudden it's controlled by Democrats. So Democrats were feeling and at the time, and I won't get into it, but at the time, I had my very, 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 very good reasons that I still stand by today that Obama was not ready to be elected the first time. But if you're going to ask me honestly, well, would you have elected Obama over for a third term over these two clowns? Yeah. Yeah, I would. I'm a guy who honestly voted against Barack Obama 8 years ago. And not that I was voting for John McCain, but I didn't think that... I'm big on experience, and he didn't have enough. He's only been in the Senate for a couple of years. You know, he just didn't have enough to really impress me, so I voted for John McCain. But then the Democrats get the supermajority, and all the Democrats are like, oh yeah, we're going to be able to do whatever, and no Republicans are going to ever be able to stop us, and it's all going to be rainbows and sunshine. You know, and at the time I was like, well, no, actually, that's not going to happen. We're just going to be that much more divided. And they literally spent 2 years doing not too much. And everything the Democrats tried to do, the Republicans, being the loyal opposition that they are, tried to stop them. Okay, so and then for the past 8 years, the Republican Party, and even when, let me finish this. So, but in those first 2 years, even though the Republicans tried to stop them, the Democrats didn't need the Republicans. They didn't need anybody to try to stop them, you know, or to help them. They didn't need the Republicans' help. They had the votes to do it on their own. But even for those 2 year period where they had full control over everything, they still couldn't get anything done. And they didn't get anything done. And the Republicans ran on the fact that they've had full control of the White House for 1.5 years, and they're still not doing shit. You know? And then all of a sudden the midterm elections came, and then you get all these Democrats who got voted in. A lot of them got bounced right the fuck back out. So now you have a Democrat in the White House, but the House and Senate is controlled once again by the Republicans. Well, the House is controlled by Republicans. The Democrats, it was like they were in like a 1-seat majority or something. But the point is, and then so there you go. So now 6 more years, the Republican now had the power to stop Obama, and they became, jokingly, the party of no. You know, and that was their stigma. It was like, they're the party of no. Whatever the Democrats want to do, the Republicans just say no. You know, maybe that's true. Maybe that's how it feels. But then last night, I'm, scanning through Facebook, and I see a lady friend of mine who lives in Colorado. Her name is Debbie. And I've never actually met her. She's been a Facebook buddy for years and years and years. And I make fun of everything, especially in politics. So anything she has to say, I'm going to make fun of. It doesn't matter if I agree with her or not. It's just I have to make fun of it. I can't help it, guys. Forgive me. But anyway, last night, so she's posting on Facebook, well, it's alright, now the Democrats, we're going to have to fight and oppose and da-da-da-da-da, and I messaged her as like, so basically you're going to become the new party of no. And of course she got all offended about that. I was like, no, we're not the party of no, that's just racist Republicans. I'm like, yeah, but you're talking about anything the Republicans want to do, you're going to try to stop. That makes you the party of no. Yeah, but the Republicans want to do that. I'm like, well, whatever, man. Like, you can be pissed about it if you want to, or you can find humor in it. And I fucking think it's hilarious. Personally, nobody's going to convince me otherwise. So, in the end, guys, I don't want anybody to freak out. Now, I know our man Braun, who's a big business owner, and he knows a lot of shit about a lot of important things, and he's done very well for himself financially with his business, so he certainly has some great insight on the global economy, no doubt about it. But even to you, Mr. Braun, I'm going to say, trust me, he's an idiot, and we're stronger than him, and not just as Americans, as people. People are stronger than this man, and we will be stronger than this man. A decent attack, Daryl. I'd have definitely tried to finish that off if I could, but I'm sure he meant to. But we're going to be stronger than him. So I honestly believe it's over. But if you live here in America and you pay enough of it, if you choose to pay attention, there will be plenty to pay attention to. But for the most part, 90% of your life isn't even going to notice that the change even happened. I mean, that's just being honest, guys. That's just being honest. I voted for Bush junior. I voted for Bush Jr. over Al Gore. And then 9/11 happened. Well, 9/11 was going to happen whether Bush was the president or Gore was the president or even if I was the president. 9/11 was going to happen, and 9/11 happened, and that just changed everything. So all the political promises that the Republicans got elected in on it for the 2000 election just kind of went out the window. It's like, well, we got to focus on 9/11 now. It's like we got all these terrorists, so all this shit that we said before we got here, well, now 9/11's happened, so now we need to go do all this other shit. And then all of a sudden, boom, that was the world we lived in. But despite the fact that we had a freaking cowboy, and Bush Jr. was actually incredibly intelligent. Nobody wants to hear that, but the truth is he was incredibly intelligent. Now, it wasn't the kind of intelligence that you would, found a think tank around. You wouldn't consider him your most intelligent member of your little thinking organization where all you do is everybody just comes and brings their ideas. But he ain't dumb, okay? He comes off as dumb in his speeches, but not everybody's good at public speaking. Even me, I'm really good at public speaking, but I'll still misspeak and I'll still say some stupid things and blah, 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 and it'll just come out all like that, and you're like, oh, okay, I hope nobody thinks like, oh, none used the wrong word. He meant to say smoke, but he said shock. He's a moron. He could never be president. I hope we don't live in that world. Maybe we do. I don't know. But I promise you guys, the point is, we're gonna be okay. We're gonna be okay. It just seems like there's so much worry, and I get it. And I don't want anybody that I know or care about to be worried. Not over this. Don't give this man, this party, this system, don't give them that much power. They do not deserve the ability to make you feel anything. They do not deserve to make you feel anything. They just don't. They haven't earned it. They haven't done shit to earn your opinion. You know what I mean? They haven't done shit to earn your faith, your trust, your belief, your honor, your loyalty. They haven't earned it. They haven't done anything to earn it. And I'm talking about both sides, Republicans, Democrats, whatever. Yes, fuck Trump, I hate Trump. But I'm not changing one aspect of my life because of Trump. I have not gone to the Canadian website. I have no intention to move to Canada. I'm an American. And I'm happy here, and I'm good. And I'm going to continue to be happy here and continue to be good despite whatever anybody else tries to do to make me, feel differently about it. And that's what I need you guys to do on this subject. Like, there's some shit that's going to happen. It's going to be big, but there's always something happening. And it's always big. And we live in in all these free societies, and here's what I honestly believe. I have to blow my nose, excuse me. We live in free societies where young people have access to unlimited information, and more they're self-educating. And more, and I know it's easier as just a bunch of cranky older adults, to say, oh, this and this and this, and kids are dumb, and like, they didn't vote for this guy. Like, there are some kids who voted for this guy, but there are just as many who voted against this guy, so don't put this on him. But it's this young generation that they're going to be the ones watching. They're going to be the ones paying attention. And the ones that didn't pay enough attention this time around, whether they voted or didn't vote, they're going to be paying attention now. And 2 years from now, 4 years from now, when it's time to vote again, you'll see. You'll see. They have woke, when they talk about all these millennials, they have woken a sleeping giant on all these millennials. Because it's not just the American millennials. I know they're the only ones that get to vote, but the American millennials are more global than any of us old fuckers have ever been. You know what I mean? Like, global. Did I look at this attack? I don't know. I think I did. Storm, if I didn't look at your attack, I'm sure it was great, and I'm sorry I didn't look at it. This is a great country, okay? But it's not the great country. This is just a great country. There are other great countries worthy of just as much admiration globally as America, India, Australia, England. There are debates about whether New Zealand deserves any of this, Finland, there's the jokes, and it's funny. But they're good people, and even these New Finland people, I bet if the shit hit the fan, they'd have your back, And going back to these young people, they're educating themselves, man. They are educating themselves, and they're doing it better than anything we can do to help them. And as long as we live and have these free societies and these free young people that have access to free information via the World Wide Web and the ability to self-educate and be global and think global and evolve globally, then we're going to be, we're going to be fine. They will hold their feet to the fire. Like, we're going to be fine, guys. We're going to be fine. As I scout through Facebook, it's interesting to me. I don't see any of my hardcore, Trump supporter friends. They're all like, yeah, Trump win, Trump win, Trump win. But they're not making these bold predictions like, oh, and now the rainbows are gonna, sprinkle M&Ms from the sky and everyone's gonna be happier. Like, they're just like, oh, okay. It's kind of more like they didn't believe it either, now what? That's how I'm interpreting it. But we're stronger than this. We're stronger. It was fine. It was way too long of a political season. I hope that the powers that be look at that and realize you can't have an election for 2 years anymore. Well, 500 and some odd days, which is like a year and a half. Like, that's too long, man. That's too long. I don't know what they're going to do or how they're going to do. And you can't legally say that a person in America, without being a violation of the Constitution, you can't legally say in America a person can't run for president until such and such date, right? Because that's a limitation of free speech. I can technically start running for president in 2020. I can start running for president right now, and the Constitution of this country defends me and supports my right to run for president right now. I have the qualifications. I can prove I was born in this country, and I'm 35 years old, and that's pretty much all you got to do. So I could start right now, and nobody could stop me. What I would love to see, though, is these news organizations, let them take a little bit of responsibility and ownership of this stuff, and maybe let them just say, you know what, it doesn't matter if you're running for president or not. We're not going to cover one goddamn bit of election nonsense until 3 months prior, 5 months prior, 6 months prior. But not this year and a half stuff. You know, the news, they don't have to report on all of this. They don't have to. They just these little things like, hey, Trump's running for president. We'll talk more about it. We'll see where he stands in a year from now. You know, if he's still running for president, we'll talk about it then. And everybody, oh, okay, cool, we'll see what happens. You know, let Trump try to do what he did without the media, negative and positive. Let him try to do what he did without the media constantly talking about what he's up to. Free advertisement. You know, and his supporters are like, oh yeah, but he did it without having to, you know, spend a lot of money, and he just used the social media and all that stuff. To what benefit? Who benefited from this brilliant campaign? You know, like, who benefited from that? You know, what was gained? Like, okay, great, it's neat. He showed he could do it. It's an interesting experiment. It was interesting. Sure, certainly it was. Good job, Trump. You managed to get uneducated white voters to come out and support you in large numbers. Congratulations, you did it. You know, white uneducated people supported you. Like, who saw that coming? But what we didn't see coming is just how many white educated people, and it wasn't that it was hard for Trump to find white uneducated people to agree with him. That was easy. It was hard to get them to get off their fucking ass and get into the cities and towns to vote. But he did it. He did it. He said enough of the things that they like to hear, and it was just the right mixture of things that they like to ignore. You know what I mean? So there was like, okay, well, I know he says government's corrupt, and I don't like government, so I like that. And I know he says grabbing pussies is okay, but I'm just going to ignore that because it was just locker room talk. You know, but I know that he says that we need to build a wall, and I like that, so I'm okay with that. But I'm going to ignore what he said about how we need to get rid of the Muslims just because that doesn't quite fit in with my ability to believe in him and trust in him. You know, it's like that's just kind of what we're dealing with these types. But we're going to be okay. We're stronger than them. We're stronger than them. And this isn't a political thing. Fuck the Democrats. Fuck them. I hate the Democrats. I hate our system. I hate everything about it. But, I'll be honest with you. You know, hear me out on this one, Australia, India, UK. I'll take our problems over your problems. You know, and maybe that's, you know, my stupid American bias, but it just feels like, yeah, there's some stupid shit happening, but at least I have the right to talk about it anytime I want, and nobody's going to stop me. You know, nobody's going to show up at my door, and now people are freaking out. Yeah, well, now the Trump's in, he's going to do it. Like, watch me. You know, watch me. Like, I would love it if Trump showed up here ready to try to shut me down. Like, that'd be great. Would I win? No, I'd lose, because he'd have military with him and guns and all that stuff. Of course I'd lose. But that doesn't mean that I'd lose. That does not mean that I would lose. I would, you know, become like a martyr or something like Trump. You know, Trump uses military to shut down YouTuber. You know, whatever. I would become a martyr to the cause, man. As Obi-Wan Kenobi said, if you strike me down now, Trump, I will become stronger than you can ever imagine. You know, like, that's me, man. Like, so, you know, bring it, Trump. You know, not that Trump's not showing up trying to shut me down, but you get my point. Like, we won't be silenced. Don't even worry about it. But we don't need to go and have a bunch of freaking, what am I trying to say? We don't need to go and have a bunch of new rallies and protests, and we don't need to picket or anything. Just be us. Just be us. Let the system work. Let the morons get disappointed, because they will. Why you're probably asking yourself, well, geez, Nunn, why are you so sure that the morons are going to get disappointed? Because morons always get disappointed. They're morons. Because they can never get what they want, because what they want is unexist. It doesn't exist. You know, I didn't say Republicans, morons, people who just vote like, oh, well, that sounds good, I'll do that. You know, those types of people, like, you know, you're not going to get what you want, pal. I'm sorry. You know how I know? Because no one who has ever voted in that way has ever gotten what they want. If you can point out in history where that happened, I would love to see it. Love to see it. It's great. It'd be great. Like, I want to be wrong. I want to say, oh, well, look here, in 1872, da-da-da-da-da. You know, like, that'd be wonderful. But I'm pretty smart on this stuff. I love history. I love political history, American history. I love cultural history. I love world history. I watch all kind of documentaries in my chill time about history, and not just, you know, yeah, like I go on there's the History Channel in America, which is just your standard. And then America, of course, you went in and saved the day. And then after that, the Britons, they were falling apart and crying in the streets. But they said, please, America, come save us. You know, that's what you get on History Network. And then I go to BBC, you know, like, and of course, the Americans didn't know what the fuck they were doing. So the Britons were like, all right, guys, here, come over here. Just stand here behind us and point your guns that way, and that's where Hitler is. Can you do that for us? You know, that's the BBC history documentary. And then of course you get, like, I've watched a little bit of Indian documentary, but it's hard to find stuff that I can understand. Even the English ones, it's hard to understand the accents, some of the stronger accents. It's a global world, man. But I love history. The point is, I really pay attention to this stuff, and I have yet to find an honest example of when the voter who voted based on just whatever, you know, that he wins. You know, like, his guy may get it, like, may get in, but I've never seen a case where he actually won. You know, the voter was like, wow, you know, everything that I voted for happened. It doesn't happen. It doesn't. And it won't. This is UGA. UGA just joined the team. UGA, I don't know. I mean, it was really good. So I'm not saying anything bad. Not saying anything negative. I'd like to start doing videos again more regularly, but I can't promise that I will. I don't know. Life's just felt different this past couple of weeks. You know, and it really, honestly, might have just been election fatigue. You know, I don't know. What have I been doing in the meantime? Well, I've been doing my normal booming, but I've taken a little bit of a break. Sometimes my wrists start hurting. You know, carpal tunnel starts kind of kicking in if I boom too much, and then I need to kind of, like, just chill back for a couple of days and just not type as much and not, you know, try to do anything. Great job, UGA. We're going to get to know you better in the future. But I've been playing this stupid airplane game. I like it because it doesn't require me to bend my wrist, because it's one of those games, you know, where if you lean your pad one direction, it'll go that direction, you know, so I'm not actually, like, using my fingers and my wrist. So like right now, my right wrist is feeling okay. You know, I'm hoping I don't have to do a serious hardcore boom session, you know, for a few days as it goes away. I'm trying. If, you know, if I ever get injured to the point, like if I ever find that I just can't boom as to the point that, you know me, I'll get rid of accounts, you know, just take it down to just the one if I got to. I don't want to, but I can't. Who was this? Pearl. Okay, you got that shock off. Good job. Yeah, you know, like if I can't, then I'm just gonna say it. Like, my wrist hurt. My wrist hurt. But I haven't been booming so much these past couple of days as my Intel numbers show. You know, but fuck, my wrist hurt, man. Like, I don't know what to tell you. It's like, if you can't bend your wrist, you know, you're gonna have a heck of a time. You know, I tried booming Dawn's way, you know, but turns out they don't prescribe wheelchairs for that reason. I asked. I was like, hey guys, I need a wheelchair so my wrist doesn't hurt so I can boom better. And they said, sir, that's not how it works. Like, even close to how it works. And I said, oh. Alright. So we're just going through choke point. I think I've said everything, you know, that there is to say. I feel like I've been doing this video for a while, and I've got this thing over here, and I really want to answer Angie and talk to her a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and just wrap this video up. Everybody whose attack I showed from Pearl Cell down, thank you so much. Let's see who, let's look at non-regular members who've just recently got here. Let's look at them and wrap this video up. So my final, subject, thought on the political whatever, it's going to be okay. We are stronger than this. All of it. So Kaboom, you've been with us. I believe you came over with Pearl's unit. Pearl came over here. We got his attention on the Facebook recruiting page some time back. We got his attention. He decided he would be the the proxy, I guess. Don't flare the HQ. Don't flare the HQ. Ah! Okay. Alright. What I would have loved to have seen is you just go ahead and get rid of that rocket there, just to go ahead and clear the zone. We're getting better, guys. We do sometimes forget to clear the zone. And we're strong. We know what we're doing. We're good. We're still learning, making mistakes. Who's this? This is Nafe. Alright, Nafe, you got work to do. You got more training. What happens is when you flare them at angles and there's defenses and cells and stuff in the way, sometimes it gets too spread out. I know you ran out of GBE and that flamethrower got you. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. So that was Nafe. Anybody else that's not, hasn't been a part of the team in a long time. Alright, Cully. I don't have any time. I don't have any energy for Cully jokes right now. I don't know. You know what I would love? I would love to do like video editing and stuff and make these videos like actually better, but I can't. Just not because I don't know how to edit. I used to be a pretty decent editor, back when I had the equipment. But it's the time. It's the time it takes to turn out a good product. But great job, Cully. I mean, you got the win. You did it. And pop. Beautiful. So there you go, friends. That's how we beat Choke Point in 39 attacks. We could have done it in less, but there were some mistakes and there was some practice. And that's just how it goes. But friends and family, I want to thank all of you so much for taking time out of your day to hang out with us, be awesome with us, be goofy with us, be silly with us, be sad with us. We're okay. Like, we're going to be fine. We are stronger than this man. We are stronger than that party. We are stronger than this system. We are a global world. I am an American and I bleed red, white, and blue and all that stuff, but I'm smart enough to know that we are a global world, and the next generation, they're smart enough to see it as well. And I honestly believe that we're going to be fine. We're going to be fine. It's hard to hold a nation of free-thinking people down for very long, and it's impossible to hold nations of free-thinking people down, and I mentioned Australia, I mentioned the UK, I mentioned India, I mentioned, like Canada, like even Mexico. Yes, these are our free-thinking allies, and that's the world, we're gonna sort it out, so don't even worry about it. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up. Please remember, friends, that we are still unboomable, and as always, please be safe. Thank you so much. Seriously.